This video is going to show you how incoming freshmen register for summer orientation and submit the information that is used to build their fall 22 schedules. A new student begins by navigating to niagara.edu/welcome to get started with the welcome portal. The first thing he or she would do would be to activate their Purple Pass. They then make their deposit online, and then they navigate into the welcome portal. The student signs in with their Purple Pass, and then they have a checklist that sort of guides them through the different forms they need to submit or complete before they get to summer orientation. So if I were a student, let's pretend, I would click here to continue completing the necessary information. I've already selected a major, which my major I selected was academic exploration. And this tells me some of the things I've taken care of and some things I still have yet to do. All of this would pre-populate. And then the student is asked a series of questions. Perhaps they want to select a minor. We'll choose one, perhaps a minor in criminal justice. They would fill out some career goals and interests. Answer some questions here. Answer questions about any modern or foreign languages. Answer questions about incoming college level credit. Next, they're prompted to fill out information about general education requirements. There are course descriptions linked right here, so if they wanted to know more about the course descriptions, they can just click on that and then they can come back to choose them. So they pick their first and second choices for each one. So perhaps this one and perhaps this one. They make a first and second choice for all of their gen ed requirements, and then they click submit. They are asked more questions about why they've selected the major that they have, and some more anecdotal data that's collected by the Academic Exploration Office to help them in building their schedules. If a student is in the academic exploration, they are asked what their major preference would be, and they're asked to list 3 of them and give some reasons as to why. The data that they submit here is used in determining their fall schedule. They're also asked about their extracurricular experience. And in the last field, they're asked to share some information that may be of help to their advisor when they're establishing their schedule. They click submit. The next field here brings them to summer orientation registration, filling out a little bit more information. And they finish by registering for summer orientation. Now I'm going to switch into the faculty and staff view so you can sort of see how this information that the student submitted sort of comes together and gets put into a schedule. So I'm logged into my NU here, and if you're involved with this process, you will have access to the summer orientation portal down here. This brings you to the summer orientation portal, where you can see all of the students who are eligible and those who have actually registered. Now I've blurred out the students' names just to protect privacy, but you would see their first and last names as well. The first column is their ID number, the second column is their last name, the next one is their first name, and then what session they're attending, and then what date they filled out their profile. Once the student has registered, their ID number becomes a clickable link. So I'm going to use this student here. I can click on it and find out more information about the student, including their student email address, their phone number, their major. If I come down a little further, I can see what courses they're interested in taking for their gen eds. You can also sort this view by college. So if you wanted to navigate just to your college, you can see how many are eligible, how many registered, and then you can also switch it to see how many have registered for each individual session. You can see this by major. One of the important ones that you really want to keep an eye on is the availability of courses and reports. Now, registration is underway on campus right now, so these numbers are changing daily. But if you click on availability of courses and reports, there's a few different reports here that you're going to want to keep an eye on. The course availability one is going to tell you how many seats are taken and how many seats are needed for each different course. And so again, these numbers will change as existing students continue to register. If you had a question about like what is required for a major, you can click on the major report, and then you can see what's required by major. You can also see what math courses they're required to take by major, the number of students by major at the current count. Again, these numbers will change as more students register. And then their first major choice, those in AEP. All good things to kind of keep an eye on as registration gets underway and as we move closer to summer, especially the number of seats that are needed. These numbers are changing constantly. You can download this into an Excel spreadsheet if you want to. So download the academic form. You would right click here and then save as or save target as, depending on if you're on a Mac or a PC. And then that would render an actual Excel file. And if you scroll across the Excel file here, you do see the list of their first and second choices for the different gen ed requirements across the top. So of course you could turn this into a table and then sort it and keep your counts this way as well if you chose, if you prefer to work in Excel. And then the last field here is the students not registered. This again will continue to change as we get closer, but it gives you an idea of what their intended major is and then who hasn't registered yet. So I really encourage you to keep an eye on this portal and check it regularly.